In this video, we will talk about Fritz Haarmann, known as the Butcher of Hanover. He was a serial killer who murdered at least 24 boys in the 1920s. So make sure to watch the full video. Fritz Haarmann, infamously known as the Butcher of Hanover, was one of Germany's most notorious serial killers, active during the chaotic post-World War I era. Between 1918 and 1924, Haarmann committed a series of horrifying murders, targeting vulnerable young boys and men. Using his charm and position as a trusted police informant, he lured victims with promises of work or shelter, only to brutally kill them. His methods, biting their throats and dismembering their bodies, earned him chilling nicknames like the Vampire of Hanover. Haarmann's crimes shocked the nation and exposed flaws in law enforcement. Convicted of 24 murders, he was executed in 1925, but his legacy continues to haunt criminal history. Haarmann's case remains a grim reminder of how evil can hide behind an ordinary facade. 1. The life of Fritz Haarmann. A glimpse into evil Fritz Haarmann's early life provides insight into the makings of one of Germany's most notorious serial killers. Born on October 25, 1879, in Hanover, he grew up in a dysfunctional family with a domineering father and an overprotective mother. Haarmann's troubled childhood included erratic behavior, a disinterest in school, and accusations of sexual assault as a teenager. Despite periods of institutionalization and legal trouble, Haarmann adapted, building a facade of normalcy as a traitor and police informant. However, his ability to maintain this duality masked the horrific acts that would later define him as the Butcher of Hanover. 2. The crimes that shook 1920s Germany. Fritz Haarmann's crimes were not just brutal but also emblematic of the chaos and despair gripping post-World War I Germany. Between 1918 and 1924, Haarmann preyed on runaway boys and vulnerable young men, luring them with promises of work or shelter. Operating in a period marked by social instability and high crime rates, Haarmann's actions were largely unnoticed for years. His killings involved gruesome methods, with bodies dismembered and discarded in the Lena River. These crimes eventually came to light, shocking the nation and exposing the inadequacies of law enforcement during a turbulent time in Germany's history. 3. The Butcher of Hanover. A chilling moniker explained. The nickname Butcher of Hanover captures the gruesome nature of Fritz Haarmann's crimes. Haarmann earned this moniker due to the horrifying way he killed and disposed of his victims. Reports suggest he would bite their throats, a method that also earned him the nickname Vampire of Hanover. The butcher aspect comes from his chilling dismemberment of bodies, which he discarded in the Lena River. The brutality and precision of his actions horrified the public, solidifying his place among the most infamous figures in criminal history. 4. How Fritz Haarmann lured his victims. Haarmann's ability to lure victims showcased his manipulative and cunning nature. He primarily targeted young boys and men, often runaway teens who were desperate for food, work, or a place to stay. Posing as a helpful figure, he promised them shelter or employment, sometimes using his role as a police informant to gain their trust. Haarmann's charm and seemingly kind demeanor made him appear harmless, allowing him to trap his victims easily. This calculated exploitation of trust highlights the depth of his predatory behavior. 5. Haarmann's killing method. The Vampire of Hanover. Fritz Haarmann's method of murder was as horrifying as it was distinctive. Known for biting into the necks of his victims, Haarmann would kill them by severing their windpipes or arteries with his teeth, earning him the nickname Vampire of Hanover. After the murders, he dismembered the bodies with precision and disposed of them in nearby rivers. Haarmann's chilling combination of brutality and methodical disposal contributed to the enduring infamy of his crimes. 6. The investigation that uncovered a serial killer. The discovery of Haarmann's crimes began with an alarming number of missing person reports in Hanover. Police were initially baffled, as the victims appeared to vanish without a trace. However, the recovery of human remains in the Lena River led investigators to Haarmann. His role as a police informant had initially shielded him from suspicion, but mounting evidence, including items belonging to the victims found in his possession, exposed him as the murderer. This investigation remains one of the most notorious in German criminal history. 7. The trial of Fritz Haarmann. Justice for 24 victims. Haarmann's trial in December 1924 captured the attention of the world, revealing the full scope of his horrifying crimes. Facing charges for 27 murders, Haarmann was ultimately convicted of 24. The trial included detailed testimony about his methods and motives, leaving the courtroom and the public horrified. The judge sentenced Haarmann to death by guillotine, a punishment carried out in April 1925. The trial not only delivered justice for his victims but also exposed the vulnerabilities of the era's justice system. 8. Psychological profile. What motivated Haarmann's crimes? Psychologists and criminologists have long debated what drove Haarmann to commit such heinous crimes. Early evaluations noted his unstable personality and violent tendencies, exacerbated by childhood trauma and societal alienation. Haarmann's crimes were driven by a mix of sadistic pleasure, opportunism, and a complete lack of empathy for his victims. His actions have since become a case study in the psychology of serial killers, shedding light on the complexities of his disturbed mind. 9. Media sensation. How Haarmann's case gripped the world. The trial of Fritz Haarmann became a global media sensation, with newspapers worldwide covering the gruesome details of his crimes. Sensational headlines dubbed him the Butcher of Hanover and the Vampire of Hanover, fueling public fascination and outrage. The case raised questions about police incompetence, societal neglect of vulnerable populations, and the psychological profile of serial killers. Haarmann's crimes left an indelible mark on public consciousness, inspiring books, documentaries, and debates on criminal behavior. 10. Legacy of horror. Remembering the victims of Fritz Haarmann. While Haarmann's name is infamous, the focus on his crimes often overshadows the lives of his victims. Most were young, vulnerable boys and men, forgotten by society even before they fell into Haarmann's trap. Their stories serve as a sobering reminder of the importance of protecting those at the margins of society. Haarmann's case also spurred changes in law enforcement and awareness, ensuring that the lessons from this dark chapter would not be forgotten. Fritz Haarmann's horrifying legacy as the Butcher of Hanover continues to stand as one of the darkest chapters in criminal history. His gruesome crimes, marked by deceit, brutality, and manipulation, shocked 1920s Germany and the world. The revelation of his actions not only highlighted the vulnerability of marginalized individuals but also exposed critical flaws in law enforcement and societal protection systems of the time. Haarmann's ability to evade suspicion for so long, despite his violent tendencies, showcased how predators can exploit trust and systemic weaknesses. While Haarmann himself met justice through execution in 1925, his victims' lives and stories should not be forgotten. They serve as a somber reminder of the need for vigilance and compassion in protecting society's most vulnerable. Haarmann's case remains a chilling example of how unchecked evil can thrive, urging continued focus on justice, prevention, and remembrance. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel before you go. Thank you for watching.